So the first story I wanted to talk about in this video is this tweet from Bednouse, and they're offering a VTuber raffle with 2 winners and 2 full body models. And at first glance, this seems relatively common. But one thing you'll notice is that their normal price for these models is $15, which is incredibly cheap. And things get a little bit more interesting when you take a look at how everything is cut up. Because you'll notice normally when there are cut-ups of these, and I bring that up because usually when VTuber models are cut up in Live 2D, they are cut up extremely finely, with every single little detail a completely separate piece of the puzzle, every single strand of hair, every eyebrow, every wrinkle, every joint, every body part. We're even separating the socks from the shoes in these models. And we have the graphic here breaking down precisely what is wrong with the rigging, basically breaking it down into everything should be cut into way more pieces. And also pointing out that certain pieces aren't large enough because keep in mind, if all you do is take this and cut it up, there's not going to be any overlap. So when the model moves, it's going to be disconnected because you're not going to have that excess overlap that's going to keep everything looking smooth and contiguous. Even going so far as to saying that any rigger worth their salt will charge you a fee just to fix this. But not only are people upset about the low quality of the rigging, people are mainly upset because this is apparently AI generated art. And they quote him saying, "These models are made with stable diffusion. Given the right prompts and adjustments, it's possible to get amazing results. The rest of the work is done manually by me, getting rid of the background, drawing extra parts, etc, etc. And that's why he's able to sell these models for $15, because he's just AI generating the art for free and then cutting it up in Photoshop later. And people are absolutely roasting this person for using AI art for their models. Some people calling it a scam, others saying you should just never support AI generated art in general. Other people saying raffling off AI generated art for clout, same shit, different day. I hope Stable Diffusion as a company rots in bankruptcy. Other people, and possibly the most valid of any criticism here, in my opinion, is that AI generated art, since it wasn't created by a human, can't be copyrighted, meaning anyone can steal your design and use it however they like, perfectly legally with no consequences. I will say though, for whatever it's worth, in your opinion, Bednouse has been fully respectful and appears to have been taking the criticism relatively well. He goes on to clarify that the blush is separated, which is a criticism he received. He goes on to explain how everything is cut up. He says that it's not necessary for everything to be so finely chopped up. Normally when people get called out or criticized, they either mute the entire conversation and ignore it, or they get really defensive and antisocial and attack people who criticize them, but for whatever it's worth, they seem to be handling it well. What is most strange to me about this is the fact that the person behind this account does actually know how to draw. There are multiple works in progress that they've posted that show that they have at least some base level of talent when it comes to making AI style images. So the fact that they have the talent to make images but are still resorting to AI in a community that absolutely despises AI is kind of a head scratcher in my opinion. And if it sounds like I'm defending this person even though they're using AI art, which is something that this community absolutely hates, it's mainly because this person is a non-English speaker. They're probably from a country that doesn't experience the AI drama that we have, so they probably have no concept of why what they're doing is so aggressively hated. And I also want to point out that these models are available for $15, which is absolutely dirt cheap. Models like this often cost hundreds of dollars. If you want a model for $15, it's gonna be AI generated. That's just a fact. So if you want dirt cheap models and you don't want one of the standard free models, this is basically your only option. Now, speaking of AI generated art, I wanted to talk about this post right here. Now, as many of you know, Kiara has specifically requested that fans not post AI generated art using her Art of Ashes official art hashtag. Well, it seems that somebody did precisely that. with people pointing out that the body proportions look off, the eyes don't look quite right, it all just kind of feels off. And if we zoom into the eyes, you can really tell that the model is a little bit cross-eyed. That doesn't look right. You've got one eye looking straight ahead and one looking a completely different direction. And the person who's calling out this AI art going on to say that the account that posted this only has 4 artworks, and the people in the replies said he stole it from an image board. So there's almost definitely AI at work here. The only thing that confuses me is the fact that he censored this person's @, and if you're going to call someone out for using AI, then call someone out for using AI. If you don't want AI artwork in the official tag of someone who specifically said they don't want AI art in their tag, it does you no good to call them out with a censored @. Normally the point of censoring someone's @ is because you disagree with their hot take and you don't want to send harassment their way. But this is very specifically to call them out specifically, and yet you've censored their @, which makes this whole thing kind of pointless. So I did go out of my way to find the person who made this original image, not because I want to funnel harassment their way, but because I want Kiara fans who don't like AI art to know who is producing AI art so you can mute them or block them if you don't want to see AI generated art. And the last story that I wanted to talk about is from Nene Amano, who said, "Hi Team YouTube, recently every short video I've posted gets green monetization after going through ad rating checks. However, after posting the video publicly, it gets yellow monetization immediately. This is frustrating, as if it receives yellow monetization, I would not post the video. I would have it go through ad suitability checks before making it public and be extra sure it will have green monetization. Can you help me out with this? I feel like this is impacting my video performance and channel growth. Thank you for your time." And I do want to point out that I have had similar problems with YouTube as well with my lives. I will make an entire live video, and then as soon as I try to monetize the stream, because I turn off monetization during the stream so that ads don't play. But as soon as I try to monetize it, it's always a yellow icon instantaneously. It's very annoying. YouTube replying with the ever unhelpful, "If you've requested a human review, then wait for your result," which is completely useless. And honestly, at this point, I have to wonder if these responses aren't AI generated. Are we 100% confident that Team YouTube isn't just using ChatGPT to respond to people with stock standard responses? Because I don't know about you guys, I cannot think of any other way to explain how they respond so quickly, yet so tremendously unhelpfully. But ultimately, that's the situation. That's my take on it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Bye, guys.